Roger. What's the surface temperature? What you got there?
Save one of that out residual and then create a new wife. Then at that point we have to
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Gonna go over a few things. Wanted to hop in live. There's some things I've been touching on. Tweeted out last night talking about a potential pullback, TP'd longs, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm going to just show you guys what I'm looking at on a bunch of assets. I'm going to start with like the overall. We'll get into Bitcoin, and then we'll look at some Bitcoin dominance and some stronger memes I'm looking at as well. Feel free, if I have time, I can get to some coins if you want. Not 100% sure if I can. I was going to try to keep a nice quick one, but if you guys want to look at, I'm going to power through the total market caps again. And then from there, if you guys want to see more in depth about total, go back to some of my recent lives, because I went into a lot of depth back when I needed to at those points in the market. Now we can still look at it just for an overview to kind of see where we're at from what we looked at last time. So let me see if I can group these up, get these hid real quick. I can pull them back up later, but all right. So just overall, been using this as pretty much a guide on the monthly. If you guys go back to some of the older videos, even back in January, I was saying this 2.62 trillion, that's where I'm going to shove. Got the retest, hooked, retest, held, deviated the channel a little bit, which is perfectly fine. The monthly candles closed there at the perfect retest on the monthly, and then I said it's go time from there. So far, this looks extremely great on total on the higher time frame. I'm still not worried about this at all. Even if the monthly came down a little bit, I mean, we still have a month or two of room before we should get absolutely parabolic on a lot of these. On the weekly, you guys do remember we had the bat harmonic here. It's one of the ones I just deleted. We came down, we tagged the 886. That was our Pico bottom. And then from there, obviously your target, if you know harmonics, you look for the 618 for TP2. I mean, this is just if you're trading it strictly. Obviously, if you take crypto as in the cycles and you play it with the cycles and you find a reversal pattern on a weekly like that, going into seasonality where you do have alt runs, you might want to play it a little bit different than just trading it on like a small scalp like this, right? So you got to factor all of that in. But overall, still looks good. Oh, there it is. I actually had it hidden on the daily. Let me pull up some of the other stuff I've been looking at, just more on the daily, lower time frame for these. And I will go through this again, just kind of walk you guys through total what I'm looking at, and how it relates to Bitcoin, because we're going to go there next. And as we're getting into this too, if you guys want to sign up into the Discord where I post everything, if you go to wap.com/Ponzi-trades, I'll post it under Twitter, and I'll post it in the chat here for YouTube. If you guys do want to sign up, feel free to sign up there for my Discord server where I post everything. You can sign up, even if you want to just become an affiliate. If you join as well and get 30% back of anybody that signs up that you bring in, you go down here to add affiliates, sign that up. Once you sign up, anybody or any of your friends that sign up, if you have an account, if they pay with credit card or anything, you guys get 30% back too. So feel free to take advantage of that if you have friends that join. I plan to raise that in the future, but for now it's at 30%. So what I'm looking at here on total, there is a shark here for 1.13, and I'll delete this one for now just so you can see it kind of clear. And I'll get rid of this daily one. Let me hide this for now, actually. Alright, so we have a 1.13 shark. If you flip the high to low here too, you can actually see we came up to about a 786. So you pretty much had a 786 for this entire move up here, which is important later. But for now, the 1.13 shark that you have, when you have the shark form, you look for about a 50% pullback from this. So if you're looking at 50%, you'd be looking close to, I don't have this pinned yet. Hold on, let me fix this. Right down here around 2.84 trillion. This is just technical perspective, right? So coming down from there to this would be the TP for your shark. From there, you would get a bullish 5-0 pattern. So if this would play out, this is how I would take the trade. You would look for 50% movement down from there. Once you get that 50% movement down from there, is where you would look to enter for a bullish move back up. And since we're looking at seasonality and everything with crypto, usually you would target this high again for a bullish 5-0 around the C point, but I would look for this to expand completely upwards. And that would be our last pullback before we get our full-on alt season. And can it front run it and just hit this and go? Yes. But when you're really looking at the weekly, that you really enter into that weekly fair value gap. You have a test right here. You have a breaker holding support. Typically, you'd keep your stop loss below the 618 if you were going to enter there. But overall, this looks good. And right now, the daily candle is not looking too great. Unless we come down here and start to shape up and go, then maybe my bias can change. But until then, I'm looking strictly to trade it down here around the 0.5, just on total. It kind of lines up with Bitcoin too. I'm going to go into Bitcoin and show you. And how I would want this to play out if we're looking at it just from a pure technical standpoint is if we did have this 786 here, which we do, we're plus or minus 3% or 5% for the butterfly pattern. Then you would look for that pullback for a C leg for a harmonic, and then you look for your 1272. Bearish pattern that is up here where we might get a slight pause or pullback in the future if we do continue upwards for an impulse move. And since this C to D leg here would be the larger pattern, here let me make this blue actually. This would be a much larger move than the one that we just had. Or about the same. Maybe percentage wise, kind of similar. 44%. 44%. So about the same that we just had if we got the Pico bottom here. But this is what I'm looking for, just purely harmonic perspective. If we're going to get a move down, I'm looking to bid around this area, put in a C leg for this, and then from there we continue upwards. I do think we can go much higher than this, but I don't see why this would not be the next logical area, especially if we get this pullback. So last night, like I said on Twitter multiple times, if you guys scroll back, I TP'd a bunch of longs, obviously some alts, like anything spot I haven't touched. So spot's still there. I'm going to be holding my spot. I'm in from 2.62 trillion. I do plan to hold that. There's some of them that I've taken out my initials that have gone crazy, like a fart coin and some stuff like that. But other than that, I'm playing with house money on those. Sui, we'll get into Sui later. That's probably one of my largest bags at the moment. And then I got a couple other low caps and Ondo and a few other things too. Selling spot to bid lower. Like I said, I've held almost all of my spot except the stuff that I said I would sell to go risk free on, like Fartcoin and a few other things. But just for leverage, I de-risked leverage. I was leverage long on a lot of positions from like down in this area, and I rode most of them all the way up, and now I'm out. I TP'd some on the way up, right, but I completely closed. And if we continue, oh well, like it's leverage, right? I can get back into another trade. I have my spot bags. Those are my main bags, my largest percents. Huge spot heavy on this go around because this is where holders are going to outperform traders, right? But I'm still going to trade on the side to try to build some bags and play some narratives while I hold. So this is what I'm looking at, right? This is total. Kind of relates to Bitcoin, so let's go over to Bitcoin on why I took a short. There's a bunch of things going on this chart. One's the fractal that I have from last cycle 4 years ago. Specifically this area, Why? Because we had the pullback going into the summer 4 years ago, seasonality of crypto, watching how the market moves, altcoin season, and going from there. And so far it's playing out pretty much to a T, right? Like, we should be looking for a nice drawdown on Bitcoin, but that's not the only thing I base it off of. Not even close. There's a bunch of other things. You just saw total. We're going to go over a few other things here, which actually, let me see if I can find the chart that I did it on. Here we go. Alright, so this is kind of the same exact setup that we had on total, a little bit different. Right, so we had 382, 1.13, 886, between a 1618 and 2.24, so this is a shark pattern that you have here that completed right here. So we did come up to the full 886 tap on Bitcoin, and for me that just shows, okay, risk off. If we reclaim that, yeah, sure, we can continue to go. But for now, we're looking for a pullback. And same thing with total, shark 250. So with the shark, you look for the 0.5 retracement, which is going to be down around $90,000 at the moment. You go to the weekly, you have a weekly fair value gap, the space in between these wicks with the candle here. The midpoint is right around $90,000 as well. You have a support on this weekly level here, which is right below the 618, which is where you're supposed to keep your stop loss if this price goes down there and you can get into longs. We also have a 886. So when you have an 886 instead of 786, you look for the deep crab instead of a butterfly harmonic pattern, which would be the 1618 extension instead of 1272. You also have a 2618 if it plays out similar to this, that you'd be looking for around $131,000 Bitcoin. And that should be what I would be eyeing if we do get this pullback into a C leg for this blue harmonic to play out. So just looking at this, I said to short Bitcoin last night on the news of Trump with the tariffs. So we did get into this short. We are entered from up here, almost Pico top, and it's starting to fall down now. And this is exactly what we were looking for. I mean, now it's starting to come down. I'm looking for people to kind of get fucked here. Excuse my language, but everybody's been super bullish. It's been up only. People are having all their common sense thrown out the window at the moment. And I'm super bullish too. I've been super bullish. Go back and watch my streams. I have streams that I talked about that were super bullish. And we were talking about this. Look, tariff scare setting up for a glorious pump 3 weeks ago. And there's more of these that I did. Crypto pumping, Klaus retired, 420, crypto stream, yeah, all of these talking about setting up for pumps. And these are some of the lives I did recently. So go to YouTube, you check it out. I told you this is going to happen. Now I'm calling for it to come back, and everybody, if I tweet on Twitter, they're like, oh, you're sidelined, or blah, 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 like you're not. It's so stupid, because now at the bottom they were all scared, but now here when everybody's euphoric and I'm saying I'm selling some and taking some off the table, they're just losing their fucking mind and saying that I'm wrong. So I love it. Usually the herd is wrong. They're a bunch of sheep getting led to slaughter. They're not going to make money in this market. The average participant doesn't, so why would I even listen to them? I'm showing you guys purely from technical standpoints, no emotion based. I don't give a shit. If this stuff continues to break out, sure, yeah, maybe I'll react differently based off the technicals I see. But what I saw is we were looking for a pullback. We had 4-hour bearish divergence here on Bitcoin as well. And you can see that pretty clearly. Let me just go to a naked chart and I can show you this. But on the 4-hour with RSI here, you had clear bearish divergence, right? You had a higher high over here, but you had a lower high on your RSI for a clear bearish divergence on the 4-hour where I spotted this, and then we wicked above based on news and had a nasty candle after that. So the news was probably the top where people get excited and they try to buy it. You get a lot of buy orders coming in, but big money is shorting this. You have the bearish divergence, you had the bearish harmonics. There was everything that lined up for a nice pullback for this. So they can bull post all they want. I'm going to bull post too, but I'm going to wait for this to pull back into the zone that I want before I'm going to put more risk on the table. I put my risk on the table down here, and they can call me sidelined all I want, but if for me, leverage trading versus spot holdings or anything, you don't want to take a fuck ton of risk on leverage. Like, that's how you get liquidated. So once you get back down in this area down here, I think you should start looking for leverage swings instead of just scalps. We've been scalping this range and this range after holding some of our longs that we had for longer term here. Took some off. Now we're going to look to get back down into this zone, and then we're looking for swings for this large move up. I love seeing Bitcoin just completely shit the bed right here too, as we're streaming. Perfect. All right. Exactly what I wanted to see. Oh. Nope, that's not how you do it. What is it? It's tweet, right? Yeah. There you go. Shorting Bitcoin on the news of tariffs being lowered. Close enough, right? It's a 1 minute for reference. 1055. So that's what I'm saying. After this pullback, everything's setting up. Everything looks great. You have the first step of Bitcoin dominance really starting to fall, and this is what we want to see. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance and a few other things. We had a butterfly type pattern that came up. We swept the high, swept it again over here with bearish divergence that was forming, and then this is when we had just seen our like alts run, right? But now when you're looking back, if we can start seeing us really dropping down below this and breaking, which we haven't yet, right? We deviated here, but we've held, we came down, we held again. Maybe we get a little pushback up, right? Maybe alts do come down a little bit heavier. But once this starts to break down really below, and on the lower time frame, if you're going to draw it, say you look at a trend line more so like this, and you want to break below this and everything. Yeah, this could be happening, right? Like we could be seeing the signs of it. But you need a little bit of work still to do before we really get a crazy alt season. And it's almost there. I think this summer is going to be great. I think it's setting up really nice for us to have a very intense alt season. And to be honest, the higher this goes, higher Bitcoin goes, the better the alt season is going to go. There's more liquidity in the market. There's more money that can be coming out of Bitcoin into the alts and down the risk curve. And so just watch this. I mean, it's early signs. We had first good move down, but we still have a little bit of work to do. But it's going to continue to do extremely well very soon, in my opinion. Others dominance did not reclaim the Gartley yet, which is another thing I'm looking at. So this is one reason why I'm like, okay, well, we're there, but we might not be there quite yet. We're almost there. You don't have to rush it. I mean, you're going to have, I don't want to say you're going to have plenty of time because you're going to blink and a lot of these things are going to be gone. But you might have a little bit more time. Once this, so this is a harmonic Gartley pattern. This is my favorite pattern. This is others dominance. What is others dominant? It's every crypto excluding the top 10. And that's the dominance of the market. So how much percent they have of the market. Right now, everything other than the top 10 is only 8.45% of the market of all of crypto. So that puts it into perspective, right? Like that's every other crypto other than like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, all that other stuff. It's only 8%. It's a tiny fraction. It got up to 20% last cycle at the top, which is like a 3x from here. So imagine all that liquidity flowing into alts. Things can get very crazy. They can get very crazy fast. This is why you have to position on high time frame setups. You will outperform most traders. I am majority spot. I still trade because I enjoy it and I do well with it. But most spot traders going into this part, if you're holding, will outperform traders. And that's just a fact. All right, so we have the bullish Gartley, 618, 786. So we had our type 1. Looking at this up here, you have type 1 reaction. We had it. We have type 2 return. We came down. We left equal highs up here, right around the 0.5, 50% retracement. And then once you have that type 2 return back down, we formed another harmonic over here that you can see in the green, more of a daily time frame. And that would be your type 2 reversal that we're going to get now. And that's where you look for your real move. Minimum, I think we take out these equal highs up here, up into the 618 area, minimum. So I think 2x from here on others dominance is minimum. Can it go much higher? Yes. Is there other potential harmonics? Yes, there is. I don't have them charted here. I could go over it really briefly if you guys wanted. And this is just to give you guys a good overview on positioning. I do more lower time frame stuff all the time in the Discord, but for now, I want you guys to not get fucked at this early into the cycle with a lot of opportunity. We do have a shark that's pretty much presented itself here as well, which brings it back up around to 18.8%, which could be an insane alt run, just with alts in general, if this plays out. Which could extend up to the 1.13, I believe, as well, which is around 21%. All right, cool. So now that we have this, I showed you the smaller harmonic, 382, 618, smaller time frame TPs. The big one, this is the pivot though. So if you're looking at the 786 here, where I have this marked, this is your pivot that you need to get above for others dominance. So Bitcoin dominance hit support while other dominance is hitting this level that needs to be flipped. Once this level is flipped, you have Bitcoin dominance potentially breaking below that trend. You have others dominance breaking above this. That's going to be more confluence for us to finally have full-fledged all season. We're almost there, right? Like we have the reversal patterns. Maybe it chops around a little bit more before we really get going, but you guys saw early signs of it this past couple weeks, and it's coming. It's there. It's present. You can visualize it. All the technicals show that it's coming. You have the reversal patterns. They just need some time to play out. So give it some time. Don't try to over leverage, especially into 400% pumps or 600% pumps on Mooding and all these other coins that went absolutely ballistic the last few weeks. You're going to have time to maybe get a retrace and go, but the FOMO's there. It should be there for a reason. You guys should have been in positions from a couple weeks ago if you've been following me. I've tried to help people understand that just with the simple total market cap chart, looking on the log scale, on the monthly. Like this is like when you join crypto, the first thing you join, you learn a cup and handle pattern. Typically, people learn cup and handles as soon as they join crypto, right? It's so easy. A middle schooler can do this. You have a cup, you have the handle, you have a breakout, you have a retest, and you have a go. So that's what's happening right now, and it's so easy. A middle schooler could see it, but still everybody decided to miss it. One other thing I wanted to point out to you guys, a lot of people aren't talking about it, total market cap. There was a weekly fair value gap here that was left behind. You can see it right here. We just filled that as well. So that would also be another logical place to act as a resistance until we flip this into support. So just keep that in mind as well on a higher time frame. I do remember MOG and I do remember Pepe from last stream. Remember the Pepe trade I gave you guys as a setup? It continued. If you guys pull up last stream and look at it, I told you like this would be your entry, this would be your stop loss, and like you'd be looking for at least up here, and this thing just flew. I mean, it was a perfect entry from there all the way up until like 100% move, man. I gave you guys like 26%, like zero drawdown if you guys took it, but for now it's kind of just waiting. I'm in a Bitcoin short. I'm not in any other leverage longs, just short on Bitcoin at the moment. And then from here, I'll be looking for other longs. I'm going to be going through and probably doing more streams in the Discord. We've been in there like every day, multiple times, as much as I can. We're going to be looking through Bitcoin pairs and ETH pairs and everything. That's going to be the next thing we're going to look through once we see this retrace. Another thing with this retrace that's great is once we do have this retrace all the way down, that's a lot of money that could have been rotated from people holding Bitcoin after they see first signs of alt season that aren't doing TA. They just see first signs of alt season, and they're going to rotate some of their Bitcoin capital with this retrace into alts that could really get things going as well. And what's a logical spot if you're going to move some Bitcoin over to alts? Yep, previous all-time high. That would make sense, right? But yeah, so that's kind of just overview that I wanted to go over. Obviously, there's a bunch of other coins and things that I want to look at. I'm huge on SUI right now. I plan to buy more SUI. SUI did break out of the daily downtrend. I think I was looking at it on like a weekly or something too. The one thing you do want to notice with it though, I want to buy this pullback. So we do have a bearish div here on SUI too. This is something I spotted earlier in the week. We have our high, we have a higher high, we have a lower high on MACD histogram for a bearish divergence. So if this plays out and we drop, that'll be a buying opportunity. You can see it on RSI as well. We have a high, we have a lower high. We actually have a smaller tweezer top bearish divergence here as well, where we had a high and then a higher high and then a lower high here. So we have bearish divergence on SUI. If this comes down and reclaims, or if we hold around the 50, we'll have to watch if it's going to hold into the control zone for the bulls. Obviously above 60 is ideal, that's where you see the largest moves up, but if this does drop down, we do hold the 50, and we get something like this over here, where we do have that retrace, but you start to hold the 50, reclaim that area, that's where you're going to see large moves up on this, and I want to be a buyer. So just keeping my eye on SUI. Obviously it's probably my favorite L1 at the moment versus instead of Solana that I think has the most upside. Just for heads ups, just so you guys know, don't FOMO like crazy. I am down. Nice, but I am, sorry, my mic cut out. I am in from under $1 on this. I am looking to buy some more if I can though, with some profits I just made on leverage just to ride this and play around on the ecosystem. I think SUI is going to do extremely well later on in the cycle. Obviously, you're going to have Solana and everything run pretty hard first. SUI, though, I think is going to have a great rotation. Where can SUI go? Ideally, I would love for it to come down into this type zone over here. I don't know exactly where. I'm going to have to do more analysis on SUI to kind of look for a better entry, but like that 2.7 area would be ideal. I don't know if we're going to get all the way down there, but I will keep this updated in my Discord server and probably on Twitter when I decide to tell you guys. I also want to see what Bitcoin's going to end up going down to add more spot on this. So if we do take out this low, I'll definitely start looking to add there. And then if If we come down into this, I'm definitely going to be probably adding a little bit heavier. But Sui's one of my main coins at the moment. Fartcoin obviously is one of my main coins. I don't know if you guys remember Fartcoin. I mean, I've been super bullish on this one since the lows here. It did perform. I've been saying 140 for a while, right? Like 140 has been my target recently. You can also pull a fractal from this one. One thing that also I looked at when I was looking at this, you're pulling old price action fractal and you're putting it over Fartcoin. Wait, why is this all green? It doesn't have to be perfect, but what'd you come to? You came to like that 140 before you got to retrace all the way back down to around $1.79. And then from there you continue up to all-time high. So it doesn't have to play out perfectly like that, but you came up, you hit your 0.5. That was the level I was looking at. I was looking at for your WD-GAN 50% move from the top to the bottom. We got that. I took my initials and some, even a little more than my initials out. And if we come back down, I'm going to compound Fartcoin. I am super bullish on this. There's also a couple harmonics. You have the daily deep crab. We have the 12-hour, which hit the hop. So this is the one that I was specifically looking at. We had a 886 right here. We have the hop level, harmonic optimal price right here at the 144.80. And from there, if we retrace, we'd be looking down around 82.24 if we get TP1. I'm not saying we have to go all the way down to TP1, but can we? Yes, we can. And are you going to hesitate, or are you going to buy if you get something down there? I plan to buy. I mean, you could even look at this as like a cipher per se. If it goes all the way down to 1.13, I don't know if it goes down this far, but there's harmonics. I mean, it doesn't have to play perfectly, but 886 is around 80 cents. On-chain, raw fall. I buy it on the on-chain. But these are the levels I'm looking for a retrace, right? Like I've called these out. These are things that have been spoken about prior in previous streams. You can go back and watch them. 140 was the target. And there's a lot of harmonics popping up on like daily time frames that are bearish too, which could just be smaller pullback on things, right? Like even ENA. So like I was long on ENA with target up here around that 42 cents for, I think I had a bat or something like this at the time. This is the 886 from this move, if I'm not mistaken. From here to here. Yeah, you came up to the 886. Yep, that's exactly right where I had my line. 42 cents. And retrace. And we could be coming back. Retesting down here as support. If we get a nice quick move. Alt, maybe find some support. Maybe we chop a little bit up, down. Go. Breakout. This is early signs of massive breakouts, right? Like, if we come down and retest that 33 cents level, come into this fair value gap, I mean, there's a small one on the weekly. Maybe if we close it and then sweep it, we'll have to see how big of a pullback that we're going to get. But if this retraces, we come up, we have our large harmonic here, we come down, we retest a breakout at the 886 of our large harmonic. Those are the go signs you want to see. It's just normal market structure and movement. Like we have our impulse out, we break out, we come down, we retest the support, we retest the 886 of the harmonic, and then potentially go from there. Somebody asked about Say. Say also pretty much playing out exactly how I'm looking. I was looking for this move down here, which we got. We have our 886 pivot of all time down around 2179, which might act as support. I have alert set. Okay, never mind. This was a TP hit that I had from down here, from the breakout. But I'm just going to change the name of it now to long again. And this is a large harmonic, right? So once we come down into this, then I start paying attention to price. Like we had a reversal pattern here. We have a daily fair value gap. I was looking for us to impulse out, right? With this, impulse out, come back, hook, find support, go. And there's a lot of things that do this. Like I think FET did this on a much higher time frame. But I'll just show you like what the pivots kind of look like. I'd have to pull up which chart I had it on exactly, but I'll do that another time. Yeah, I mean, we came down below, we found support on this pivot. I did this in a stream a while back, and I'm like, all right, this is your entry. On the old 886 pivot of a larger harmonic, 100% move. Akash did the same thing. I remember this one specifically as well. You had a shark and a bat, 886 pivot. Came down, retested the pivot, go. 100% move. There's a lot of things that look like if we do come down and retest, they can go. I don't know if Housecoin's dead. I was still looking for Housecoin around 0.035. So if this does come down and sweep these equal lows down here, I might try to get long on Housecoin. I'm still going to see social engagement with this one to see if people are still going to push it or not, but that's one I've been eyeing as well. Hey Dell, I've been eyeing. This one actually just broke out. It didn't come down to like the 11 cents mark I wanted. Sui's been very strong ecosystem, so I'm not sure if it's going to. But we'll see. If we do fill this gap, I have my alert set here. And it's a Gartley pattern, which I enjoy. I want to get long on, so if that retraces, we take that. Ondo, still in a pretty hefty position on Ondo. This is the only one where I didn't cut, and I'm actually looking to just add if we come down to this daily fair value gap again. So I'm not sure if it's going to come all the way down there. Maybe it just comes here and goes, depending on Bitcoin and the retrace and everything. But I mean, if it comes down into here, I'll zoom in. There's a gap left behind here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's your actual 886. No, it's not. 886 is like right there at 76 cents. So like between like 80 cents and 76 cents, I'd probably add to Ondo if we got it. But if not, I'm just going to let this one run. So I haven't looked at this a ton. Did we come out to the 88 or 618 on this? There's a few of these that are, yeah, so we had 618. I'm going to move one of these alerts up on Popcat in case we want to run it into a 618, 618, 786 Gartley. And let's mark that level and just kind of see what it looks like looking left. I mean, it's a pretty significant level, right? And TP would be up here at the 786. Weekly fair value gap there. I don't know if it's going to come there again. Like some of these might not come back down there, right? But if Bitcoin does drop like that and dominance doesn't break, or Bitcoin dominance spikes a little bit again, you can see these alts fall. Because what happens when you have Bitcoin dominance go up and Bitcoin decrease? Anybody know? Alts decrease fast. I'll pull that up real quick just to show you guys the dominance chart. Alright, right. BTC dominance up. Bitcoin decreases, alts dump fast. So we could get a mini little pullback like that on alts. I'm not saying it's like the end of alts, like alts just went crazy. But if that happens, like look at this pullback that we had on Popcat. I mean, just this wick here alone was 20%. And we hit a 618. So like say we do pull back into a 618, into the weekly fair value gap here. This should be opportunity. If you weren't greedy, after everything ran like crazy and you can understand basic technicals, or if you're in my Discord and stuff like that, and there's other people, there's a ton of other Discords and stuff that people are showing you value and not just preaching out of their asshole. But if this comes all the way back down here, that's a long, and it's going to be a good one. And this could go 1618 from here. This could go 1618, like crab pattern versus just Gartley. Whoops. Now that we put in a 618. So like I have my alert set. These are things I'm looking at, higher time frame. I'm going to be leverage trading them if these hit. I've got most of my spot bags already positioned, unless I'm going to switch something around, but it's a little late now to be switching around a ton unless you're just in something that's not moving. If your coin barely pumped during this move up, you might be in something wrong. You might have to understand that the larger ones are probably going to go first, and then it's going to trickle down. But all right. Yeah, more like a DAX raffle. What up, Justin? Justin's in the house. Hold on, somebody just asked me when the stream was, so. So hopefully you guys know, like, yeah, obviously I posted bearish on Twitter. I am bullish overall. But don't be surprised if you get a little bit of pullbacks. There's no reason to be surprised if that happens. So I like this personally, where you hit a 1618, but there could be other harmonics on here too. I'll have to scan a little bit more on some of these alts. But yeah, I mean, this is a bat pattern that's actually valid as fuck. 886. This is a little bit higher for my liking, but I wonder if Carney Software shows it. He's got that bat. That alert just scared the shit out of me. But yes, we have a larger harmonics here, right? We have this large one. We broke out. We had our first impulse move up. We have a potential 886 bearish pattern here, kind of at a resistance level that you can see scrolling left. Like, right, this is pretty clear. Like, you can turn off the harmonics and just look left. Like, it's a pretty clear level. Like this whole zone per se, it's a logical area for at least a pause or pullback. In bull markets, you typically see like at least a 382 pullback and then continuation, which is a logical number. People act like it's the end of the world, but I mean a 382 is around 1130. Even if you came down to 0.5, like this would be a fantastic support level, right? Like if you just scroll left on this and resistance, 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 you come back down, you retest that into support, you can go from there. I think 90K, Alex, it could front run it. I'm not going to be greedy. I don't know even what it's at the moment. Yeah, so the last few minutes have been coming back up. But, I mean, that's what I would see. Maybe we get a bullish harmonic or something too that we can get a bottom on. Like, say we get something like, if we have like a butterfly or something in the future, and I'll stream it, but like say this comes down all the way down here, then you get a bounce up and then bounce down to like the 90K, and we form something like this. That would also be another sign to get in there. But we gotta let price develop, right? Higher time frame, we have what we're looking at. Got to see if this is going to continue the fall first, right? But decent pullback so far. I'm going to do another stream after I'm looking at Bitcoin pairs. I want to just show you overview Bitcoin, some alts that I'm looking at for bearish divergence that we have forming. I want to do another stream. I'm doing one tomorrow to start. So tomorrow I'm actually going to be going live with Scott Carney. If you guys don't know Scott Carney, go over to his page. This is Scott Carney here. He actually wrote the books on harmonic trading. He has them trademarked. He goes live a ton. I'm going live with him most likely tomorrow. I'll let you know on Twitter. We're going to be doing a YouTube stream together as well. So it'd be great to go over his insights. He's been in the market probably for just as long as I've been alive. I'm around 30. I think he's been in the market for around that amount of years. He was there .com bubble. He was there for a while. So I'm super excited to jump on with him tomorrow. Don't miss that one. It's going to be great because you can kind of have like his amazing technical experience and just market experience in general, and then you have somebody like me who's been in crypto for a while. It kind of brings a little bit more of the younger meme coins, or S coins that he calls them, shit coins basically. We're going to go over that. Going to go over a few other things. I'm going to kind of do a quick touch with him on what we want to cover. But there's a lot of newer coins that I like to bring to his attention that he just does amazing work on technical wise, and when we talk we usually find some good ones. So we talked, last stream we did was right before the crazy meme season that we had before the end of the year last year, and things I swear went like 5x minimum with some of these memes last time we talked, and there's a couple things we're going to touch about, and I think it's time. A lot of these are setting up on a weekly level to be really ready for these large moves. I mean, just looking at them, this impulse up, and if we get a retrace down, like so many of these are just looking super good high time frame for large moves. Like you're breaking out of the downtrends, you're forming bullish market structure down here now, right? Like it was bearish, we had low, higher low, lower low, or lower high, lower low, lower high. And now what did we do? We broke market structure, right? We have our first higher high over here on AVAX. Now if we can get a higher low, hyperliquid, then we go, right? Like this is what we're looking for. We're looking for that market structure to shift. for us to see these weekly divergences, these weekly dots from Carney software, these weekly harmonics, large daily harmonics, market structure shift, and then seasonalities coming in. We're looking for Bitcoin dominance to kind of break down. We're looking for others' dominance to start rising. Total market cap to continue to hold that area that we are talking about. And then from there, it's full send season, I think, for the summer going into the end of the year. Yeah, this is 100% recorded. It's going to be posted on YouTube. It's going to be on Twitter. I'll post it in my server as well. But feel free if you guys want. Like I said, I'll drop the link on Twitter here underneath the initial video I posted. If you guys want to join the Discord, if not, feel free to tune in the streams. I'll be posting on Twitter. Still feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions or anything. But so many of these things are setting up. Like, we're in early stages, early stages. So this pullback should be a gift if you get it. And from there, I think we kind of add soon, and then we just go. We just enjoy the ride. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off on this one. I might hop over into my server if anybody wants to hang out in there for a little bit. As I drink my pre-workout, I'm going to go hit the gym. But see you guys over in the server if you're going to join. I'm going to head over now. But if not, thanks for coming, guys. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll post the link for Scott's stream.